Welcome. Thank you, everybody out there joining us today as we close in on our Athletic Day of Donors here in 2022. I know, and just looking at the numbers here before we came on screen, over $600,000 this year, which is incredible. I believe we're in the 2,800 in terms of total donors. It's a huge reason why myself, Chris Gray, head strength coach, continues to be here at HWS. Just absolutely blown away by the support that we have from our students, our student athletes, our parents, our alumni, and everybody that has their hand in all the experience that is here at HWS. Fortunately, I'm joined today by four of our tremendous student athletes. And as much as we want to talk a little bit about what Athletic Day of Donors means to them, we want to give everybody out there, family, alumni included, just a better snapshot in what the student-athlete experience is like here on our campus. To my right, Andrew Lynch, Hobart basketball, Chase Caraway, Hobart sailing. To my left, Lauren Devaney, you might know her as our double-double here in William Smith basketball, and Emily Martino, our captain for our William Smith ice hockey team. Really, really blessed to be here with the four of them today. And we're going to kind of open the floor. We want to give everybody out there a little bit of insight into who they are, their experience here at HWS, and just how important Athletic Day of Donors has been to them this year, as well as the rest of their time and their tenure here at HWS. So we'll jump right in. Guys, you want to table this thing off for us? Andrew, Chase, talk to us a little bit about HWS and the experience that is.
Yeah. I guess first off, just coming into HWS, I had no idea what I wanted to study. So academically, going to a liberal arts school was a great opportunity to kind of figure out not only what I wanted to study, but also kind of figure out who I was as a person and what potential career field I wanted to go into. And from my freshman year up till now, which is my junior year, it's been truly special. I've met some great people. Being a part of the basketball team has been a great experience. The tight-knit community is awesome. It's a great platform to develop great relationships. My freshman year we were able to go to the Sweet 16, which was probably the greatest basketball experience I've ever been a part of. So that was a ton of fun. And then obviously, COVID hit us my sophomore and a little bit of my junior year. So that was a little rough, but having the support of Coach Gray, the rest of the staff for the athletics programs was a huge help. And then getting to be back on the court this year was awesome. Just being on the court with the guys, getting the weight room view. So that was a lot of fun.
We've told them to say that here a few times today, everybody out there. So I appreciate the shout out. Now being a junior, still undeclared, what's your major?
Yeah, I'm a media and society major.
Awesome.
With an entrepreneurial studies minor.
That's great. Now, when did you make that decision to transfer, or I guess go from undeclared and kind of set that track for yourself?
Yeah, that was second semester of my sophomore year.
Awesome.
Yeah, I took a lot of different courses, took philosophy, architecture, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I kind of came to that conclusion in my sophomore year.
Tremendous. Yeah. Awesome. Chase, you want to detail a little bit about your experience here at HWS and just how it's kind of impacted and shaped you?
Yeah, for sure. So name's Chase Caraway. I'm a senior from Rexdale Beach, North Carolina. And you probably wouldn't think that it's normal for someone from North Carolina to come all the way up to upstate New York for college. But I ended up here because I had a tremendous sailing team when I was being recruited in high school. Looked at a ton of different schools. And I toured Hobart last, and it was kind of like the last step and the next step of my life and everything. And I couldn't be happier that I ended up here. I'm a senior now. I've been on the sailing team all 4 years, and we've had some great successes. We're working on a great last season for our senior squad, and we're looking forward to nationals in New Orleans this summer. So we're gearing up for that. We have our first competition, I think next weekend. We were on the water yesterday in about 20-degree temperature, so pretty damn cold. But it was good to get the season started again. So looking forward to it.
That's awesome, and I can attest to that. I was fortunate enough last year to get out in the water with the sailing program, and it was an eye-opening experience. And fortunately for me, unlike Chase just mentioned, I was able to pick a really, really nice day in the middle of May to join them out in the water. With that being said, I'd love to turn to my women over here and talk a little bit about William Smith's side of things. Lauren, I'll open it up with you. Talk a little bit about your experience here at Hobart and William Smith College and just all that's done to shape you.
So I'm Lauren Devaney. I'm from Geneva, New York, so not far from home at all. I can say that I always kind of knew I was going to come to school here. My parents work here. My brother went here. My grandma used to work here. So it's kind of in the bloodline at this point. And I also grew up watching Hobart and William Smith basketball play. So, the opportunity to play here for a team that I got to grow up with and come to games when I was 5 to now being on the team, being a junior is really cool, really awesome. And like similar to Drew said, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I came here, but the liberal arts school gave me a lot of options. I took, I think, a class in every single subject you could possibly take here. So I got all my goals covered right away, but I ended up falling into architecture, and I was doing a math minor, but I actually added it as a double major now. So it's a tough balance between basketball and schooling, but I'm figuring it out. And the support here from Coach Sharman, Coach A, you, everyone, Coach K, and all my professors makes it pretty easy to get done what I need to get done.
That's awesome. Now, similar to Andrew, when would you make the decision to go from undeclared, I guess, to the architecture path?
I picked my architecture major my first semester of my sophomore year, just because I was kind of into all the intro classes I need to get into to get going in the major, and I decided like that's what I really wanted to get going with. And then for the double major, I decided that I think sophomore spring, I figured out I could fit in both. So.
Awesome. So if hypothetically I wanted to build a new weight room here in the future or need an extension on my house, are you the person to call for that?
I got you covered, yeah.
Outstanding. Beautiful. And Emily Martino, last but definitely sure is not least, you want to care, I think you've been here, 5 years now?
Yes, that's correct.
Maybe you can dive in a little bit in terms of what your experience has been like here at William Smith.
So I'm Emily Martino. I'm from Orange, Connecticut. I major in economics and media and society. And I went to a small boarding school in Connecticut where I played ice hockey, and Hobart and William Smith really gave me that feel of the small, close-knit community that I had at boarding school. And when I came here on my visit, everyone was just so welcoming and open arms. So it really made me want to come here. And our campus is beautiful right here on the lake. I think being a student athlete, we get a little bit of free time, and it's always nice to go down to the lakes with my friends. And I think I didn't really know what I wanted to major in, but like Lauren touched on, we have the goal system here, which allows you to kind of get a taste of everything. And I tried all classes, and I decided I really liked economics and media and society, so I wanted to do both. And I think Hobart and William Smith has great advisors and the Learning Center, which allowed me to handle all of that and athletics in 2 majors. And from that, I ended up being able to even work with the Career Service Center, which is awesome, and which I learned about before coming here, and how awesome our alums are and so open and welcoming to talk to us about the future. So I was really excited about that, and being on the ice hockey team here for now 5 years, I've seen the program grow tremendously, and even the school as a whole grow. I mean, we were lucky enough to get Coach Gray my sophomore year, and he's done amazing things to RFK with updating our strength and conditioning room, getting us team builder, new technology, and amazing things that continue to help us grow. So being here for 5 years, it's kind of given me a little view of just how much this school does for the student athletes and how much it continues to grow.
Awesome. And I know we're getting a cue here as more donors continue to donate during our last hour. We're going to take a brief break and come back. I know I would love to hear more about how wonderful I am, and as these student athletes have said already, but more importantly, how important our donors are to everything that we're trying to do here at HWS. So come back and join us. If you haven't donated, please go ahead and contribute to everybody here at HWS and the experience that is. And welcome back. Once again, Chris Gray, head strength coach, joined here by four of our amazing student athletes on the last about 45 minutes of our Athletic Day of Donors here in 2022. We just eclipsed $620,000 mark, and I know we're pushing it. We had this big push here for this last 45 minutes, and we'd love you to come out and support if you haven't done so already. But we'd love to, again, have you join us in the conversation that we're having with our student athletes about their experience here at HWS, both as a student and a student athlete. And kind of breaking off here into this next segment, I'm going to kind of just get each one of you to speak a little bit more into what that life is like being a student athlete, what the life is like having that balance between attending class, film, games, practices, humble plug, strength and conditioning. But what is this like for a student athlete? And starting with the gentleman last time, I'm going to turn to my lovely ladies and say, okay, what is this balance for each of you, and in no particular order? What's it like being a student athlete here at HWS?
I can start off if you want. I think we have practice every day, and we have strength and conditioning at least twice a week, and out of season we're working out probably 4 times a week as well. So having a course load of 4 classes and finding time to be able to manage all your classes as well as your athletics, it does get a little difficult, but on campus we have so many resources that help us that it has made it so much easier for us. And myself, I have learning disabilities, so I used the Center of Teaching and Learning, which was great and really helped me my freshman year find out how to study correctly for my exams, how to get extra time if I need it. And I think the little things and resources on campus that we have are so important for our student athletes and so important for the student athletes to actually go use. And I think that's something that's always been stressed on Heron Hockey is use the resources that we're given. Go out and get them. No one's going to hand you the resources if you don't go do it yourself. So I think my freshman year, I really took that and ran with it and used those resources, met with my advisor weekly. We have the study mentors at night, every night from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock that you can go and they will help you with all your work and practice for exams. So I think that's something that's really important and that student athletes really take advantage of to be able to get the job done every day.
That's awesome. How did you in particular, I know trying to figure this out as a first year and now having done it for 5 years, I'm sure you settled into a routine. What's your routine look like right now as far as managing being able to go and get extra help in this class and getting to strength and conditioning, but also being on time for practice and still finding time to maybe eat and sleep, hopefully? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, so every day I have an on-campus job, which is really nice that the school allows us to work. But I start off my day heading over to RFK to work for the best, Coach Gray. And then I head to my classes throughout the day and try to find a little bit of time to eat in between. And even that, we have so many options on campus to grab food, whether you go to Saga in the dining hall or you hit the cafe or AVP, you can grab a quick meal and fuel up. And then we head off to practice at the end of the day after classes. And I think just being able to use that little bit of time in between classes and practices to sit down, whether it's to do work, take a nap if you need to fuel back up, but you really have to spread out your day and plan it out so that you can get everything done.
Awesome. Lauren, what about you? What is this? What's the balance like as a William Smith basketball player here, and potentially now, right, looking at William Smith volleyball?
Yeah.
So, as a 2-sport athlete and also a double major,
Yeah.
I mean, you probably know better than everybody else. How do you balance this?
Yeah, it definitely gets tough, like Emily was saying. But personally, I think my busiest days are my most productive days. So days where we have lift, conditioning, practice, all of that in one day are definitely when I get the most done. Yeah, like Emily said, it's pretty much wake up. If we have lift, go to lifts, go to class, and find that time in between to get your homework done, hit the library. Usually I'm working right up until practice, and then doing that by the time practice is over, I can usually give myself a little free time to just kind of relax for the day and hang out with my friends or go out to eat with the team or whatever comes along with that. So yeah, we'll see how it goes into my senior year doing 2 sports and 2 majors, but for now it's going pretty well. Also, all my professors are super supportive. I usually can't make any of the office hour times they have, but they're all super understanding, and they're always welcome to me making random appointments or shooting them emails at any time of night. My professor, Jonathan Ford, answered my email at like 10:30 p.m. the other night after a game, and he was still up ready to help me. And then our last game on Saturday, my professor, Erica King, was actually there supporting us, and she saw my half-court shot. So that was pretty cool, and she was talking about it in class and was super excited about it. So yeah, they're really supportive and they're great.
And I think that's something that's been evident in my 4 years here, as Lauren just touched on, just the incredible support of the student athlete, but just the people that are here at HWS. And I think all you alumni and donors and family and friends know that out there. And I think it's continued to support. It shows why this is such a special place. But gentlemen, on to you. Just give us a little bit of an insight of what it's like to be maybe a male student athlete here, basketball and then sailing.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, it can be demanding at times, especially when you're in the heat of the season. My freshman year, Coach Thompson, he was a huge help. He really helped me kind of map out my coursework and other obligations, which has kind of led to this. Right now I'm working 2 jobs, got coursework, and then obviously the season's over now, but was dealing with practices, lifts, and games. And some games got canceled from COVID. So there's a lot of logistical stuff that went into it. But I think like Lauren and Emily talked about, just having those resources in place for help, whether it's CTL or whatever it may be, that's always a huge help. And I think also like a lot of times student athletes get caught up in, athletics and their major and kind of figuring out what they want to do in life. I think it's good to find time to decompress, kind of enjoy yourself, and just have fun and be in the moment.
No doubt. What's the best thing that you use, I guess, to decompress or to maybe escape or get away for a little bit? Is it a video game? Is it a nap like Emily touched on? Like, what does that look like for you?
I mean, I live in Odell, so like we always just hang out in the living room, just hang out, watch a movie or something like that. This past season, every Sunday we started going to Chipotle in Canandaigua, which is 20 minutes away. Just kind of get off campus, take our minds off things, and kind of relax and get some team bonding as well. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Chase,
Awesome.
What about you?
Yeah, I'll touch on my side. So I'm on the sailing team. Like I said, I'm a senior captain on the team, and it's definitely a demanding workload. We have practice, Monday through Friday if we're not traveling that weekend, 3 to 6. We have our lifts during the week over at RFK, or if we're working on our own in the field house. So it's definitely demanding. It's tough to keep up with work, but we have a lot of resources, and we tend to keep up with work pretty well. We have an athletic study mentor program. We have such a strong support system with coaches, teammates, and donors and everything else there in between. So I mean, I've been extremely lucky to be on the sailing team, and I'm super blessed to have be able to work with all these great people. I'm winding down my college career. It's my senior year, and we've had a great, at least for my senior class. Granted, we lost a year and a half from COVID and everything, but other than that, we've had great experiences. We've grown together so much as a team, and it's been so awesome to see everybody grow together and compete and everything. So
Awesome. And I know we'll be back here in a brief minute and touch a little bit more on how our donors, our alumni, and all the support we've garnered here from Athletic Data donors, what help or how it's helped our student athletes achieve new heights. As I know, we're continuing over $622,000 right now, which is incredible. Thank you again for your support. But we'll be right back with a little bit more or better insight into all that your resources do to help our student athletes here. And we're back here live again on Athletic Day of Donors 2022. So excited here for all that we've had and for the generosity that all of our alumni and donors have supported us with. I believe, and I'm just getting this now, but I believe we're eclipsing that $635,000 mark now and continuing to climb north of that. So thank you to everyone out there that continues to donate in this last half an hour, 40 minutes as we roll to the close of 2022. That being said, I'd love to kind of ask our student athlete panel here a little bit about their peak experience at HWS athletically, and frankly why it's so interesting to me and hopefully to you out there as a donor, as alumni, as a family friend, whomever, is that these are moments that we couldn't get to alone, not without your support. And I think it's super exciting to hear from them what that moment may be, and it might be your half-court shot here from earlier this week or your goal from last weekend, but I think listening to them explain and really detail their experience and their top peak experience here at HWS is going to be super awesome. So that being said, I'm going to turn to Chase first. I'm going to put you on the spot as a sailor. Not everybody knows about sailing and what that looks like, may feel like. Can you kind of talk to us a little bit about what that peak performance was for you athletically?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, it's tough. I've had so many great experiences, with my time at Hobart, and the team's been great. I think my freshman year I did U.S. Youth Nationals, and Coach Scotty Clay. This was separate from college sailing, but Coach Scotty Clay coached me, and I won a national championship there, which was awesome. My sophomore year we traveled out to Santa Barbara for nationals, and I placed fourth that year, just 1 point off the podium and a few off the title, but I think one of my best times was the second day. I won every single race on the second day. I think after the first day I was in 9th or 10th. And following the second day, I was 1 point off third. So I mean, that was a great day. And I think junior year too. I mean, Nick Sessions and myself, we sailed great. Two of the top three at the nationals. He was third, I was second. And to kind of round that out and finish second my senior year was a great experience. And kind of all those experiences that I got to share with the coaches and and my training partners that I really tried to get to come to Hobart and William Smith. They ended up coming, and that I sailed with in high school, and just to share those moments with them was awesome.
Incredible. And frankly, for those of you that don't pay attention to sailing enough, you really should. It is absolutely awesome to be out on the water with, or just watching from afar and appreciating all the physical nature of the sport as well as the mental nature of the sport. But we've got an unbelievable program here, like Chase touched on. I'm going to bounce over to Lauren. And I poked fun at your half-court shot the other day, which was incredible. If you haven't seen it already, it's an absolute must. But what has been that athletic moment for you here at HWS?
I think I have a couple. So one of them is definitely the half-court shot. That was pretty awesome, especially because there were so many people from my whole basketball career there to see it. Like, my family was there. One of my first basketball coaches ever, Coach Whitley, he was actually there that day in the stands, which was really cool. And then a couple of my high school coaches were there too. So it was a really cool day. And then another one, my freshman year, we traveled to Franklin and Marshall. We had a tournament there, like, to open up the season. And both of those games were pretty close games, and they were really exciting. And they were my first couple of college basketball games. So that was definitely really memorable to come out with a bang, kind of starting off my career in a good way. Yeah.
Incredible. And I know there's going to be more career moments for Lauren, as she will be partaking in William Smith volleyball, their inaugural season next year here in the fall of 22. So I'm sure there are plenty more for Lauren to come. Let me toss it back. And I know you touched on it earlier here, Andrew, about maybe that Sweet 16, that trip we had to Christopher Newport a few years ago, right before COVID. What's been that peak moment for you athletically?
Yeah, it was definitely our second game in the NCAA tournament when we beat Springfield. Buzzer beater by Dan Messino. That was awesome. I'm from Massachusetts, and both my parents went to Springfield, so getting to play in that arena was truly special. I think one of the cooler things about it was the amount of fans, alumni, and parents we had at the game. Like, it was crazy. Like, we almost had more fans than the home team. So their support went a long way, and something we're looking forward to is this coming summer we're going to Europe. That's a trip we've been planning, and the alumni have a huge impact on that with their donations and contributions for making those opportunities possible. So
no doubt,
we're looking forward to it.
That's awesome, and I think that just keeps resonating with me. It's just the continued support of everybody out there and how they've helped these four, as well as the countless other student athletes that we have here on campus. Lastly, Em, you want to talk a little bit about, I know there's been a few this season, last season. What's been that peak moment for you athletically?
So I think in my past 5 years, we've had really exciting games. One a few years ago in overtime against Elmira, who's always ranked top 5 in the country. We ended up pulling off a win there. But most recently, this past weekend, we went to Southern Maine for playoffs, and we ended up going into a double overtime, which was actually the longest game in program history. It felt like it was never ending, but we ended up pulling off the win, and it was just such a great 8-hour bus ride home, being able to take home the win from to move on in playoffs. It definitely would have been a tough ride if we lost.
Absolutely, and I can attest to that, watching all 85 minutes of the action this past weekend. I started watching the game while the men's hockey team was playing here at home, carried over to watch men's basketball while their game was still going on, and ended up all the way till about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, until when I think they won in double overtime, 5 or 6 minutes in. And I ended up texting Emily later that night, being so excited and completely supportive of everybody there in that program. But I think that's the thing that I just want everybody out there to resonate with, or have resonate with them, is that we can't do this alone, right? Not one of us up here can do this alone without your help, and it continues to grow and swell and support. So we thank you very much for that. We're going to come right back here with one last segment with our 4 student athletes as we wrap up Day of Donors 2022. And welcome back to the conclusion here of Athletic Day of Donors 2022. Once again, I'm Chris Gray, the head strength and conditioning coach here, joined by Andrew Lynch, Hobart basketball, Chase Caraway, Hobart sailing, Lauren Devaney, William Smith basketball, and soon to be William Smith volleyball, and Emily Martino, William Smith ice hockey. And as we conclude here and wrap up this last segment, please, if you haven't done so already, send in those final donations to help these 4 student athletes as well as the rest of our 600 plus student athletes here. And as we continue to grow our athletic department, everybody here needs your support. But on behalf of our 4 student athletes, I'll start this off in saying the most gracious thank you to everyone out there, alumni, family, donors, we can't do this without you. And this day, again, continues to just show everyone here how special a place HWS is and all the support that we have out there. So thank you, thank you, thank you from myself, from my team in RFK, and the bottom of our hearts for all that you do for this department, this school, and more importantly, our student athletes here. But I'll turn it over to each and every one of them and let you hear it firsthand. So, Em, would you like to say anything to our alumni, family, and donors out there?
Yeah, on behalf of Heron Hockey, I thank you so much for all your donations and continuous support throughout the years. We couldn't make it without you guys, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you.
Hello.
I just want to say thank you to everyone that's donated so far and that's going to continue to donate until the last minute. On behalf of basketball and soon-to-be volleyball, we wouldn't be able to start our new volleyball program without you or any of the other sports we're bringing in. And for basketball, we wouldn't be able to, get the support, equipment, staffing. I think we're going on a team trip next winter right after Christmas, so anything like that wouldn't be possible without you.
No doubt. And gentlemen.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. On behalf of Hobart and William Smith Sailing, thank you so much for all your donations. I know the alumni are always a pleasure to work with. They're great with networking and connections, and it's nothing different with all the donors. Thank you so much for all you do. You allow us to get new equipment when we need it, new sales, all that stuff, and all the hotel costs, because when we go for regattas every weekend, 2 to 3 regattas a weekend, those costs add up, and you really make it possible for us to keep competing and be successful. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much to everyone who's donated and is going to continue to donate. A lot of the things that we've talked about today, the resources, the opportunities, and the experiences we've all had, that's not possible without you guys. So we truly appreciate it. Thank you.
And again, to everyone out there, I think the new total now is we just got north of $626,000. So again, thank you for your constant and continued support here of HWS Athletics. We can't say it enough, and frankly, it would fall on deaf ears eventually, but you really do mean the world to us, to our student athletes, and to everyone here at Hobart and William Smith Colleges. So thank you again for making Athletic Day of Donors 2022 an absolutely great success. From myself and everybody here at HWS, thank you for your support. Have a wonderful day, and we hope to see you again next year.